guys, it's your boy OJ Simon back again with another video. Liverpool win 2-1 against Bournemouth after coming back with goals from Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, and I'm here with my post-match analysis and player review of the game. So let's get started with the lineup. I thought it was obviously we already knew coming into the game that Adrian was going to start due to Alisson being injured, and he's probably going to be starting against Atleti as well. But I think the main surprise was seeing James Milner at left back. And to be honest, when I first saw this, the rest of the lineup kind of speaks for itself. Oxlade-Chamberlain played in midfield with Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho. Then the front three in defence was all the same. But the only worries I was having was obviously James Milner. The last time he played left back that I fully remember was probably last season against Crystal Palace, and he was quite erratic, and sometimes he does tend to be quite rash and give away a few fouls. So that was the main worry I had, especially when he's coming up against the likes of Callum Wilson and all of this. But overall, I was pretty happy with the lineup. But yeah, we get into the first few minutes, and I thought we kept the ball quite well. We kept possession. Oxlade-Chamberlain was pinging the balls left and right. So was Virgil van Dijk. There was so much space down that right hand side, and we're getting a lot of a lot of balls in behind and all of this. But we weren't really creating any chances whatsoever. But then afterwards, in about the 10th, 11th minute, I believe, a ball gets played in behind. Joe Gomez is about to get the ball with Callum Wilson. He gets pushed in the back. Referee plays on. Callum Wilson gets the ball, plays it down the byline. Beautiful cut back. And then he gets played into Callum Wilson, who gets the goal. If I'm being completely honest, I thought it was a foul. If I'm being completely honest with you, I thought it was a foul. I was with my mate as well watching it, and he said it was a foul, and he's a United fan. If I'm being completely honest, it was just, for me, it was a blatant push in the back. You know, Callum Wilson wasn't going for the ball. It puts Joe Gomez out of position, off balance and all that. But at the same time, I do think Joe Gomez could have maybe reacted a bit better, because he was expecting a foul, which I personally thought it was, and I thought VAR would have picked up on it. And you can also tell Klopp and that was really angry with it as well. But I thought they were going to give us a foul. They didn't. We ended up being 1-0 down. And I felt like even watching watching on the TV and stuff like that, it kind of felt like Anfield was just a bit nervy. And I know the recent results have been a bit bad, but it just felt like everybody was just a bit nervy. There was, Bournemouth were just sitting back and then just hitting us on the counter-attack whenever. But they started playing it out a bit more, which led to the goal, basically. But there was a few chances beforehand. There was one from a brilliant cross from Oxlade-Chamberlain, cross-field pass into Oxlade-Chamberlain. Then it plays into Trent, and then it luckily gets blocked. And then there was another chance as well, which was probably the best chance before the goal with Roberto Firmino. Brilliant ball into Firmino from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then Firmino, for me, should be doing better, but the guy has not scored since April at Anfield, and it just seems like even today, I thought maybe he might get a goal today, but it was not his day whatsoever. And it was a brilliant chance to make it 1-1, but then the goal finally does come along, and it was from, for me, it all stemmed from Milner, in my opinion. Maybe some of you guys didn't see it, but obviously Bournemouth started getting a bit more confidence in the game, because Liverpool weren't really creating enough chances. They just had a chance from Nathan Ake, which was tipped over the bar by a bit dodgily, I'd say, by Adrian. And then, as they were applying pressure, James Milner hoofs the ball up, and then from there they get the throw in. The ball gets played from I believe Simpson, who just came on for Steve Cook, because obviously there was an injury after the Firmino chance, and he tried dribbling out from the back. Then Mane comes in for the presses brilliantly, goes in, sees Salah on the other side. I thought he was going to play it in front of Mohamed Salah. He plays it behind him. For me, a pretty poor pass in my opinion, but Salah manages to get the ball, does a very good job, cuts inside, goes into the near post, and surprisingly makes it go in. I thought it was going wide. It looked like a tame shot, but it ends up going in, making it 1-1. And from then, there was still, I wouldn't say we were plain sailing from there. There was still a few chances, There was a few long shots here and there from Bournemouth, but nothing really to, scare us. There was only times when there was a ball played in behind, which we managed to play Callum Wilson onside, but we managed to deal with it quite well. But then the second goal came from it was from Bournemouth's own doing. Again, I'm being completely honest, it was Bournemouth's own doing. They tried, I know Bournemouth with Eddie Howe's style of football, they tried to play out from the back, and they're trying to play nice football. And then they tried making 1-2s and all of this with I think it was between Billing and Simpson, and then Van Dijk, they make a bad touch. Van Dijk gets the ball, touches it down, plays it into Sadio Mane, and then Sadio Mane does an easy finish into the bottom right-hand corner to make it 2-1. But if I'm being honest, I thought there was going to be more chances. There was, as I said, before the goal, there was also a chance when, again, Oxlade-Chamberlain puts the ball in behind, and then Simpson makes amends for the last goal and blocks it, but it would have been disallowed anyway for offside. But yeah, apart from that, I still had a few problems with the performance. I thought that's just the first half. We were still susceptible. We were creating loads of chances, but we were still susceptible to leak a goal here and there. I still thought we were going to get maybe another goal, but yeah, it was still not our best defensive performance, if I'm being completely honest with you. You know, defensive line was sometimes a bit shaky, and yeah, but going into the second half, it did take us a little while to get into the rhythm of the game. I thought it took us about 10-15 minutes to actually start creating chances and actually, you know, pressing, because all we were doing really was just passing for passing sake. It wasn't really for game management. It just felt like we weren't able to create anything. Our crosses were pretty poor as well. I mean, Trent's corners and free kicks were just absolutely awful. And normally he is a player who is, we already know about Trent. He's got that Royal Mail delivery, and this time it was not meant to be. But then there was a lot of chances that we had. Obviously, Sadio Mane having that brilliant shot. There was one from Roberto Firmino later on in the game. But if I'm being completely honest, the best chances of the game came from Bournemouth. Simple as. Liverpool had a few chances, don't get it twisted. But the main chances that came, and again, it was mainly from our own doing. You know, our defensive line was pretty poor. And the first one was obviously the one from Ryan Fraser, which James Milner does a very, very good job from getting in behind. And I mean, he was partially at fault for keeping Ryan Fraser on side, but he makes amends from the ball over the top. It goes over, you know, Ryan Fraser chips the goalkeeper, but then off the line, James Milner clears it out and was fantastic today. And then towards the end as well, which I thought was offside. Obviously, towards the last minute, I think it was like in the 92nd minute, there was a corner, gets cleared out, Nathan Ake gets the ball. I thought he was going to shoot, but then he sees Callum Wilson, who was in fact onside, which when I was watching it, I thought it was offside. Callum Wilson, instead of trying to tap it in, somehow fluffs his shot, and then that was it. He literally, there was just a mad kerfuffle basically. Gets cleared out. Liverpool live another day. I mean, Firmino just before had a chance as well to make it 3-1, and then so did Greek had like a half chance as well. But there wasn't a lot of chances, I'd say, from Liverpool. There was a few times when we were getting in behind, but there wasn't really. Roberto Firmino had a few chances. There was one where he tried playing it into Sadio Mane. It goes, Mane misses it, and yeah, there wasn't a lot of. It wasn't a convincing performance, I would best say. Bournemouth had a lot of chances, but to be honest, the fact that we actually managed to get a win should put us in good confidence for the Atleti match. But before, well, might as well now get into the player ratings. So, Adrian, for me, see, the thing is, he wasn't at fault for the goal whatsoever. He made a few saves, albeit they were dodgy as hell. The way he saved them just did not look convincing whatsoever. But at the end of the day, the goalkeeper's job is to keep the ball out of the back of the net. So I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10. I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10 for Adrian. Trent, right back. I didn't think he played too well today. I thought his crossing wasn't as good as it always is. I thought in the first 25 minutes he was very good. You know, he created a few chances for Roberto Firmino. But then after that, his crossing was a bit off. Corners even. I mean, there was even a point where Salah ended up taking corners and they were far much better. So I'm going to say, again, I think Trent recently has been playing pretty poor, if I'm being completely honest with you. So hopefully Atleti can change it up. But honestly, recently he's been playing quite poor, and it's making me a bit worried, if I'm being completely honest with you. So I'm going to say maybe a 6.5 out of 10. And then Van Dijk, I thought it was very good. The only time where he got really caught out was in the second half of Callum Wilson, and then in the first half from the corner, which was headed by Nathan Ake. But apart from that, was calm as you like. Even managed to get an assist as well. Just was a bit annoyed about our defensive line, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to say, still thought it was a very good performance, 8 out of 10. Joe Gomez did get targeted by Callum Wilson. Still thought it was a foul. You guys can let me know down there. I'll probably leave a poll or something. But yeah, I thought it was a foul. But I thought it was still quite good. His passing was pretty decent today. There was a few times, as I said, the defensive line wasn't at his best, but he recovered well when he had to. So yeah, I'm going to say again another 8 out of 10. I don't think it was a stellar performance, but I thought it was a pretty decent performance. Now, James Milner. I thought he played brilliantly today. I thought defensively he was amazing. Even in attack, he was good. Obviously, stopped a clear goal as well. There's a few players because for me, this may be a bit unpopular. I'm not too sure. I personally didn't think he was the best player, but I thought he was our second best. So I'm gonna say 9.5. I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10. I thought he was brilliant today, and if he plays against, I wouldn't even count, because Trent hasn't been playing that well, and it wouldn't. I know he's not going to, but I wouldn't be upset if he plays like that. If he plays against Atleti, and that's saying something. And then we're gonna go for Fabinho again. I said it for a little while now. I don't think he's been at his best form since coming back from injury. I thought maybe it would take him a little while maybe to get into the rhythm, but so far he hasn't had the extendable legs that he always has. He's not being able to tackle. He's not, he's misplacing a lot of tackles. He's not doing, he's not switching the play as well. I'm not too sure if he, normally he's there to control the play and all of that. Normally he does that very well. But recently he hasn't been up to the pace. So I'm going to say a 6 out of 10 for Fabinho. And it is worrying me a little bit. I've mentioned it before. And yeah, it is worrying me quite a bit. Then I will say, who else? And then we've obviously had Gini Wijnaldum. He played well. There was the weird missed volley shot that he had. Controlled the ball quite well. Obviously there was, I don't know if he did okay defensively. In attack, he wasn't really that dynamic, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. I don't think he played awful. I just thought he just did his job really. Just controlling the game, controlling the momentum, and game management and all of that. So I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now, if I said the first 10-15 minutes, if he played like that first 10-15 minutes, he would have been contender for man of the match. After that, though, it wasn't really that good, if I'm being completely honest with you. I thought there was a few times where he misplaced the ball. I still thought he played all right, but he wasn't at his best. He was, some of the shots he was having weren't that good. They were just going extremely wide, and yeah. So I'm gonna say 6.5 out of 10 for me. If he just played consistently throughout the whole 90 minutes as he did in that first 10-15 minutes, it would have been brilliant. Maybe if it was the fact that we conceded early, I'm not too sure. Now, Sadio Mane. For me, it was a weird one. Obviously, he got a goal. I thought Mane today had a very Salah-esque performance, if you get what I mean. Getting the numbers, getting the goals and the assists, but being very frustrating at times. Obviously, he had that mad shot, which, if that had gone in, would have been one of the goals of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. But I thought in the first half especially, he had a few chances where, went in behind, he misplaced quite a few passes. He was not really taking on players as much. But he did get a goal and an assist. But even for the assist, he did a poor pass for Mohamed Salah, but even still does get the assist. So I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10 even still. But yeah, I don't know. If he didn't get the goals, I would have been very frustrated with his performance. Then Roberto Firmino. I know he's not watching this video, but on a real, when is he actually going to score a goal? I'm being completely honest with you. I have no idea when he's actually going to get a goal, because it has been since April. Since Porto. It wasn't even the Premier League since he last scored. It was against Porto in the Champions League since he last scored at Anfield. And today he had about 2-3 good chances to score, which I'm pretty sure if that was away from home, he's scoring. So I don't know. And he created chances. It was a decent performance. I don't think it was his best performance. I thought there was a few times where he gave the ball away a bit sloppily. His passing wasn't on. So I'm going to say, but he did create a few chances and was pretty good at times as well. So it was a bit like Firmino played in patches, I'd best say. So for me, I'm going to say by the way, I'm actually going to change Van Dijk to 9 out of 10. But for Firmino, I'm going to say a 7 out of 10. And for Mohamed Salah, personally, I thought this is one of his best performances in a long while. I thought he was very strong on the ball. He took plays when he had to. Yeah, he misplaced a few passes at times, but he was created a lot of chances. Even one for James Milner from across. He was very good from taking corners. He was, as I said, very strong on the ball, taking on players. Obviously, took the goal very, very well. So yeah, I'm going to say for me, he's my personal man of the match. I understand why James Milner was a lot of people's man of the match, but for me, it was Mohamed Salah. So I'm going to say a 10 out of 10 performance for Mohamed Salah. And then also, by the way, shout out to Billing, Callum Wilson and Nathan Ake for Bournemouth because they played brilliantly today. I just had to let them know. And then Divock Origi, non-applicable. We had one chance behind. Smith does very well to get in front. And then Adam Lallana, bit disappointed he didn't do one Cruyff turn today. But apart from that, didn't really do much. So again, I can't really say. I'm just going to say standard 6 out of 10 because he didn't really do much today. But we're now 3 wins away. We could potentially win the league at City. We could potentially do it. So we'll see. Unless obviously United do a job on City tomorrow, then yeah, we might be able to win the league at the Etihad. We're 3 wins away. Yeah, 9 points away, we should just say. We are 18 points from being 100 points in. We've got Atleti next. Fingers crossed we can win that match. But yeah, it is the end of the video. If you guys did like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers. So if we do, that'll be much appreciated. And also, leave a comment about your player ratings or anything like that. I'll put something in a poll. Feel free to react to that as well. But yeah, it's your boy Ojo Sam here. Liverpool won today, and I hope you guys have a very nice day. See ya.